Welcome to the Philadelphia Film Festival. My name is Michael Lerman. I'm the artistic director here, and I'm very honored to have with us today the writer-director of La Leyenda Negra, Patricia Delgado, and the lead actress of La Leyenda Negra, Monica Betancourt. How are you guys doing? You good?
Good. Yes, thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for sharing the movie. I want to start first by kind of the germ of the idea of the film, and talk about a little bit of the writing process. Did it come from wanting to make a movie about immigration to a certain extent, wanting to make a movie about imperialism, different things about America? I was curious where it started for you.
So I had shot in Compton before, actually a short film with Monica's fiance, Malik. And I'd had a really great experience shooting here. And I had worked with Juan Reynoso, who apart from being a professional actor, is also the head of TV and media production at Compton High. And I told him that, I really enjoyed shooting in Compton. I would like to do it again, and this time to make a feature. And so he suggested to me that I come and meet his students at Compton High, because a lot of them were interested in acting. And Monica was one of those students. And a lot of his students are Latino, and they go through what every other American teenager goes through. But on top of that, some of them have immigration statuses that are currently under attack because of this administration's policies. So that's kind of where the germ for the film first began.
Did you cast it before you wrote, or was it like you met with them and then you started writing it and then you casted it, or did you have people in mind for different roles as you wrote?
So I met with the kids first, and then I started writing, and then I came back and I met with Tatiana, who was also one of Mr. Reynoso's students and had actually worked on The Hood as an assistant director, and she was the one who suggested Monica for the role of Aletheia.
There's a thing sometimes when you see features where you feel a perfect marriage between the lead and the director, and I feel like this is one of those times. And I was wondering kind of how the two of you, what your working process was like. In general, was there a lot of rehearsal, but also, is there shorthand that the two of you developed throughout the process?
I mean, yes. I'm a very shy person, so when Patricia came to me, I was like, I don't know. Should I not? It's a lot because we were used to being behind the camera, not in front of the camera. So it was a big step. And then I met Patricia. I'm like, she's a very nice person. So she gave me the confidence to say, okay, let's do it. And I think once we started rehearsing and everything, we just got together, and a beautiful friendship came to it. And she made me feel very comfortable to go on with the film, and day by day by going on with the scenes.
Yeah. And when I met Monica was 17, weren't you? And I think that she was still very shy, and I don't think she was very sure of herself, but I could see that she had a strength that kind of, belied her years, her youth. Mm-hmm. And that was the quality that I needed for Aletheia. So I knew already, even in the casting, I knew that she had what was necessary to pull the role off. And then she really went in there and gave it her all, her best.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty special performance. So I was struck by it when we first saw it. Were there pieces in shooting that were particularly difficult for you, Monica?
Yes, the pronunciation of certain words was that was something that follows me to this day. That was like every day, and like even in rehearsals before we started shooting the scene, it was just like Patricia's like, okay, we'll just repeat the word, and it's just like the words wouldn't stick with me because of my accent, and I just couldn't. It was just those things that were like, man, if I could just say it and let's keep going. And like we had to redo scenes, and then the scene where we were doing the quinceañera, we were looking for the earring, like the word that I couldn't pronounce. And then once they moved to across the street, Patricia's like, you said it. And we didn't do the close-up. I couldn't do it with the close-up. But once they left, like I said it. It was just like those things that were hard for me to get out there.
It was advanced parole.
That
word. That was tough. Advice patrol, we got.
And then the one we were like also in the bedroom talking and
Self-obsessed.
yeah,
Certain
that
words.
word.
Yeah. I feel like that always happens kind of with the nervous energy on set. It's just it's you got to get it out.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the choice of the look of the film? I thought it was great that you chose to do kind of this gritty black and white. So I was curious where that came from.
So, since the film kind of references cycles of history and touches on themes of imperialism, colonialism, persecution of the other, intolerance and difference, for me, the decision to shoot in black and white, it kind of referenced that French idiom, plus ça change, but also in conversations with my DP, we felt that the black and white would be a fitting visual representation of the polarity of choices that our lead character, Aletheia, is forced to make as a potentially undocumented immigrant today in the United States.
Right. Are there things that you're hoping the audience will take away closer to the election, closer, the world has changed a little bit since you made this movie in a lot of ways. And obviously the issue is important. The issue was important then. The issue was even important before this administration. But are there things that you're hoping at this point, at this very point in time, that you're thinking about in terms of the film that you weren't thinking about when you were making it?
Well, my hope is that people will empathize with the character of Aletheia and kind of, look at this 18-year-old who's extremely intelligent and extremely hardworking, and realize that maybe she shouldn't be being forced to run the gauntlet the way that she is, that she has a right to education and she has a right to stay in the country that she's always called home. That's essentially what I hope will happen, is that in that process of empathy, that there will be a reconsideration and a reevaluation and a discussion of what is happening to TPS holders today in the United States. And maybe that will encourage people to vote differently and instigate positive change and reform.
Monica, if you want to add to that, you can. You feel free to.
Yeah, she took it all. She took it away.
Okay. What are you both working on now? Are you going to do something else together? Are you writing something?
I'm in a Sundance lab in the Film 2 Fellowship program, so I'm developing a script now, and I would love to work with Monica again. But now with the pandemic and everything, I think it's going to be a while before independent cinema really gets back on track, just because I'm sure as a producer that production insurance right now is it's through the roof.
I know, it's crazy.
Right?
It's like everything right now is in pause. Basically, our lives right now, everything is paused.
But we'll get there.
We hope so. Yeah. But Monica, you definitely want to continue acting.
Yes.
Were you not intending to act before this? Were you not intending to act in any capacity? Had you acted?
No, that was my first time acting. I think the only thing that came close to it was one drama class that I had in like 9th grade, and that was about it.
Yeah.
I'm very shy, but I know I have a big voice. So I, when she told me, I didn't really want to turn it down, because I'm I think I'm capable of it. If I put myself into it, I would like acting, because like I said, I took classes, I liked it, but I never thought I would pursue it further than that until I met Patricia.
Are you looking to make a career out of it now, or are you going to kind of do it sort of on the side?
Like I always said, if I get the opportunity to, I would love to. I already have my foot in, I don't want to take it back and start all over. If I already have my foot in there, I'm okay, if it comes, opportunity comes, it comes, let's go all the way in.
Right. Great. Well, I think I can speak for all of us saying we hope to see much more from both of you soon in the future. So let's hope this pandemic ends soon and everything gets back up on its feet. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the film with us. We really, really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure and it's an honor. It's an incredible lineup that you guys have this year. And it's really, we wish we could be there.
Yes.